Can you work carbohydrates called cellulose? The answer is yes. Welcome to ADP for Learning. I am Ashish Kutyal. Today we will learn about a new topic regarding an amazing carbohydrate product known as cellulose, which is popularly used by many people in one or another form across the planet under the name cotton. Cotton comes from a carbohydrate that is present in plants in abundance. Cotton is the most widely produced natural fiber on the planet. Other natural fibers include silk, made from the cocoons of silkworms, wool, made from the fur of sheep or alpacas, and linen, made from fibers in the stems of flax plants. Cotton fibers come from cotton plants. Specifically, they grow from the seed coat, the outer layer of the cotton plant's seeds. Before they can be turned into sheets or t-shirts, the cotton seeds must first be separated from the plant, and then the fibers from the seeds. There are 4 stages of cotton flower and fruit formation. 1. Formation of flower bud. 2. Formation of flower. 3. Developing seed pod. 4. Seed pod dries and opens, revealing mature cotton fibers. In fact, cotton fibers are nothing but the cells. If you look closely at your cotton jeans, cotton socks, or a cotton ball, you'll see very fine, hair-like fibers. Each cotton fiber is a single cell. Most types of cells are so tiny that you need to use a powerful microscope to see them. Cotton fibers begin to form soon after the flower opens. The microscopic figure clearly shows day 1 of cotton fiber. Even then, they are visible as enlarged, single cells on the surface of the developing seed. On the 3rd day, the microscopic image shows that the fibers have begun to lengthen. If you follow for the 60th day, you will be amazed to find that they have reached their full length, and they are dry and ready to harvest. Individual fibers can be seen in woven cotton fabric. These cotton fibers can be easily visualized by the naked eye if they reach lengths of up to 2 inches. In fact, the fibers from domesticated cotton are the longest cells of any plant. Cotton fibers achieve most of their great length in a mere 30 days. They begin as tiny cells in the fertilized cotton flower. A month or so later, they fill the maturing seed pods to the point of bursting. To make threads for fabric, individual fibers are overlapped and twisted around each other. Longer fibers are more valuable than short ones because they require less overlap and can therefore be woven into finer threads. Thinner and finer threads can be used to make fabrics with a higher thread count, a more significant number of threads per square inch of fabric. High thread count fabrics are considered fine linens, so they cost more than other fabrics that are less fine and airy. Do you know the amazing mechanism of nature of making cotton fibers using carbohydrates? As different types of fibers are made up of different types of molecules. As most animal fibers are made of proteins. For example, silk fibers are made from multiple monomers of amino acids that are put together to make polymers known as silk fiber. On the contrary, synthetic fibers, such as nylon and polyester, are made of long chains of hydrocarbons, usually manufactured from crude oil. While cotton, like most other plant fibers as told earlier, is made of a carbohydrate called cellulose. For instance, in the case of cotton, the monomers are glucose that combine together to make a polymer known as cellulose. Cellulose is a polymer made up of glucose, a type of sugar. Glucose is made in the leaves of the cotton plant, which are filled with bright green chloroplasts. Chloroplasts carry out the process of photosynthesis. They harness energy from sunlight to turn carbon dioxide and water into glucose. This glucose travels to maturing cotton fiber cells, where enzymes link many glucose molecules together to make cellulose. Cellulose is a major component of the cell walls that surround all plant cells. Cotton fibers are more or less the dried-out remains of extraordinarily long and thick cell walls. After knowing all such amazing details, can we say that the cotton plants make fibers out of thin air? The answer is somehow yes. as most of a cotton fiber's mass originates as carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, of course, is a greenhouse gas. Your cotton towels, sheets, and t-shirts are not only useful in their own right, they also keep several pounds of carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Is it amazing? So, now more questions come into mind, like can we say that cotton is a product of genes? As a biological product, cotton fibers contain the stuff of cells, including a nucleus filled with DNA. In other words, your genes actually have biologically originated genes. You will be surprised to find out that your genes consist of a lot of genes, as each cotton fiber holds a copy of the entire cotton genome. As with any specialized cell type, cotton fiber cells use just a fraction of the genes that they hold. That is, only those genes that are important for fiber formation are turned on. It is transcribed into mRNA, which is in turn translated to make protein. The proteins then carry out the work of the cell, while the rest of the other genes that control things like petal development, root growth, and stem strength that are turned off in fiber cells, and no protein is made from them. Many of the genes that are active in cotton fiber cells code for housekeeping proteins, which carry out the basic functions common to all cell types. Other active genes are specific to cotton fiber formation. For example, during the early, lengthening phase of cotton fiber growth, the enzyme peroxidase makes chemicals that loosen the plant's cell wall so that it can be expanded and lengthened. Later, the enzyme cellulose synthase builds cellulose, which thickens the cell wall. This amazing but complex process of switching on or off of the genes can be learned and visualized by the use of microarray analysis. Researchers, by the use of microarray, can learn which genes are switched on and off in different tissues over time. At last, one more question come to mind. Have you seen the different color of cotton, and what is the reason behind them? The answer is the variations in genes that gave cotton different characteristics. We have already discussed the role of mutation or variation in our previous videos. You can check and learn those other examples of mutation on my YouTube channel, ADP for Learning. Now come one last time on the topic of variation in genes that give rise to different characteristics in cotton. Different strains or types of cotton have different characteristics. Many of these differences arise from variations in genes. As with all organisms, cotton plants pass copies of their genes to their offspring. Since cotton reproduces sexually, cotton offspring receive 2 copies of every gene, one from each parent. The combination of alleles they receive influences their traits. Variations in genes affect fiber length, amount, quality, and as shown in the photos, color and fire resistance. Scientists are interested in studying the genes that influence these and other fiber and plant characteristics so that they can develop new varieties of cotton. For example, cotton plants with 2 copies of a certain genetic variation make brown fibers that are also flame resistant. Also, when this plant is bred with one that makes white fibers, the offspring make fibers intermediate in color and flame resistance. Also, genetic variations cause cotton plants to make fibers that are green, red, brown, or white. Thank you for listening and exploring the amazing journey of learning about the carbohydrate you wear or use daily. In the future, we will come up with more interactive topics. Meanwhile, don't forget to like, share, and comment.